Okay. All right. Doing arms today. Did back yesterday. I'll get that video up shortly, and then also this one. But I'm in a hurry today because I need to take Newton to get groomed, get his nails trimmed, and all that. So it's like just after 3 right now. I've got probably like an hour, like a good hour and 15 would maybe be pushing it. But just doing arms, so bis, tris, forearms. I'll do later when I go back home, or well, I should say later tonight, because I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna have to do some. I'll go after this car. I'm gonna have to do some treadmill time later this evening, so that's just gonna be when we. Okay. Excusez-moi, madame. That was not my wheels chirping. That was theirs. So yeah, I'll do forearms when I do my treadmill time later tonight. And I mean that's pretty simple. They've got cable machines at the apartment gym complex, so. In terms of the lift for today, I'm gonna just try and be fairly straightforward and in and out and try and be efficient. I'd like to get like 10 sets of each, but who knows if I'm really gonna need that, because I'm gonna set like a 1 minute timer in between each set and just kind of like walk laps. Helps. I like doing that sometimes. Helps get steps in, and just helps, like, as far as the pacing of the actual training session. But usually I like to set a 2 minute timer, a little bit of rest in between. But I figure, without any, like, error or you know downtime, if I get about 10 sets of biceps and then also a minute in between each, that'll probably take like 20 minutes. It's probably going to take, I think that's about reasonable. A minute in between, and then a minute for, setting up the set and doing the set or whatever. Something like that. And then similarly for triceps, that's 20 minutes and 20 minutes or 40 minutes. Now, something tells me that it's not going to be that efficient, just because that's assuming you're taking zero, like, extra downtime for a set or a rest or whatever. But that's at least the plan, and that gives me about 20 minutes of buffer time. And then in terms of movement selection, I'll probably start off on the seated bicep curl. Probably 3 sets of, heavier, like time under tension, controlling the negative pause, lower rep sets. And then 3 kind of like more burner, like higher rep sets. So that'll be like 6 sets there. And then I'll finish off with however much else I feel like is needed for biceps, as far as I'll probably do preacher curl. And I'll probably use an easy bar rather than the machine, because ideally I like to do those one arm at a time. Or at least like the first bicep movement that you'll see me doing, like seated bicep curl. Even though you're doing both arms at the same time, they're like, independent of one another. They're not locked in, so you're not really gonna let the movement be dependent on, your stronger or weaker bicep. And so when I do like preacher curls, I like doing the machine and doing one arm at a time, but it's not very time efficient considering that I'm in a hurry, because you got to do essentially like 2 sets just for one, because you're doing the right and then the left, or vice versa, and that's 1 set as opposed to doing them at the same time. So I'll probably do an easy bar to do them at the same time, and yeah, you're probably like, oh, you could do them blah blah like on the machine at the same time. Yeah, but it just doesn't really feel as good. And if I wanted it to like feel better on my wrists and like all the angles and stuff, I would use a D handle and put it around that. But the problem is it makes it a little bit longer because you have the length of the D handle. So I'm not going to be able to work into failure partials at the bottom end range of the motion, which is kind of what I want to do on the Preacher today. So that's that. And as far as triceps goes, no fucking clue. Probably do some heavy sets with a bar. And all right, what are we doing? Why are your hazards on? Why are your hazards on? That's not how you make a turn. What, dude? This is not a. All right, that's okay. It's not really where you do that on the road, but anyways, triceps, no clue. Do some heavy sets with the bar, like heavy push downs, and then just finish off with the Vulcan. And I don't know, depending if I have time, I would like to do some individual arm stuff, whether they're cable kickbacks or crossbody cable extensions. But that's just going to be a time dependent thing. So I'm going to shut up, turn this off, and see you guys in there.
Everything that we're supposed to be doing.
I know, I'm trying to.
Oh, fuck. Ow. Okay. Ow. Oh my god. Arms went decently. Man, I am pale. Alright. Can't do anything about that right now. But let's get a little bit of AC going, maybe. Anyways. I didn't get to record the very end of my triceps because like it's frustrating, but it's kind of funny. So my gym, like right at 4 o'clock or something like that, is when like they have their hours that you're not really supposed to record. But to my understanding, the guy that runs the place, he's very chill with me because I've always been respectful when I'm there. And he's like, yeah, obviously, I know you're courteous and respectful about it, which I try to be. That's just, all right. That's not a turn lane. Anyways, so yeah, under the speed limit, obviously. As I was saying, I try to be, courteous about it in the sense of, if I'm able to keep people out of the immediate background of it, I try and reposition it. If there's somebody on a machine that's by, even if it's not in their actual way of movement, if it's even just in their, like, area, I always just ask them, like, hey, do you want me to move this? I don't want you to feel like, it's all up on you or whatever. Because again, everybody's right to the gym. So, anyways. So he's like, yeah, I'm not going to like tell you not to, but if somebody says something, obviously you just got to, go by what they say because those are the hours that you're not really supposed to be recording. So the reason I say it's kind of funny is there was a person like near me. I don't think they were in the video. If so, I wouldn't be talking about it. But nevertheless, there was a person like kind of near me, and I wasn't sure, but it looked like they were like eyeing up the camera. And almost like right when it turned to time, they came up and asked me. They're like, they were nice about it, but I could tell they were just waiting for the time to say something. I just said to them, I was like, yeah, no problem. And I was like, and if there's any like other days that you're here, and like you feel uncomfortable, just ask me. I'll move it or I'll go elsewhere. So, but I thought it was funny that they just they wait. Oh my god. Why would you pull out there, man? Come on. So the goose, they waited for their exact moment and they took it. Right? Let's drive like a goofball day, I guess. But so for triceps, I just spammed the shit out of like pull down / extensions. And I had two of my buddies like run me through 2, maybe like 3 failure sets. So that went decently. Ooh. Sounds like I'm at a red light. Sounds like the thing's about to fall over, so I'm gonna adjust it real quick. Okay. I rolled the window down because I was curious to see. Because I'm pale. I'm pale regardless. So you're gonna get this like whitewashing effect. But I was curious if putting the window down helped at all. Not really. Be too much wind noise anyways. But I can get tan. I lose it quick and I have to stick with it. Because I got decently tan for my competition, and then obviously for the actual, day on stage, I had the professional, like, fake tan applied. But I got decently tan around that time of the year leading into it. Because the tanner you can be, then the less they really have to, like, pack that shit on. So you're just going to have a little bit better of a look and a finishing product anyways. I do kind of miss being tan, but just no sense in, all that tanning bed exposure if I'm not really going on stage anytime soon. I'm kind of doing decent for time. I could probably shower. Thing is, I don't know how much I really want to shower just because it's a little warm out and I'm going to be taking Newton up to get groomed and this and that, and I just feel like by the time I get back I'll be sweaty and want to shower again anyways. So what I might do is I have these Stridex pads for like, acne and shit like that. I might honestly just rub down like as much as I can with 2 or 3 of those, just like my chest and my upper back, like my rear delts, my traps, my face. So yeah, that's about the gist of today's video. Pretty straightforward. Is it as ideal of a lifting session because I didn't have my 2 to 3 or 2 to 4 minutes of rest per in between set? No. But I can tell you one thing. My arms are fucking fried. You can go, by the way. Or don't. By all means. But, as I was saying, But yeah, my arms are fried. Oh, but fatigue isn't the indicator of growth. No shit. But what I am saying is that 100% what I just went and did is better than nothing. And you know, a lot of people in the gym really don't train as hard as they could or should be. And somebody that has the work ethic and the mentality to push themselves and train intensely could train non-optimally every fucking time, and they're gonna beat out any science-based lifter or optimal motherfucker if that person isn't applying an adequate amount of intensity and work ethic. Like, that's the thing. Like, I'm not saying that like there's an added value, or there's a level of value to training smarter and, you know, choosing more efficient or more effective movement choices and methods of setting up your training. But if you half-ass it or train like a pussy, it doesn't really fucking matter all that much, because it's like, all right, well, yeah, like, okay, somebody that has no effort training optimally versus not optimally, yeah, I guess that's technically better. But in the end, like, if you take two people and they don't know anything that they're doing, and you teach one of them how to train with intensity and train like hard as shit, but he just goes in there and just does whatever fucking movements, I would bet that person's going to grow a lot better than the person who you instead choose to just teach all the science to, but they never learn how to actually train hard. Ideally, learn both. But 100%, if I could only know one of them, I know which one I'm going to choose, because it's like, I don't want to sit here and sound like, oh, just because they were able to do it back in the day, but there's been guys getting big way before we had all of this science based lifting and nutrition and shit like that. Because in the end, there's always going to be people that are just going to train like a motherfucker. So it goes to say that yes, you can get big without the science. The science will probably help you get big. The science is going to help you get bigger better. But you can get big without the science. You can't get big without the work ethic. You can't get big without the intensity. You just can't. So, learn both. If you have to learn one first, don't be a pussy. That's all. All right. Yeah, I'm going to go hurry up. See you guys.